Before we start the video, I want to say this video is sponsored by BetUS. Now let's get into it. A player that Detroit Lions fans have been consistently wondering about is Emmanuel Moseley, the corner that they signed over a year ago, and he got injured almost immediately in the Seattle Seahawks game, and then when he returned, he got injured again. He's went through some pretty catastrophic injuries, but he is healthy. He is back at practice, and Dan spoke about how well he's been doing at practice. So let's hear the clip from Dan Campbell, and then I'll kind of give my insight to what I expect out of Emmanuel Moseley moving forward, and maybe the possibility you'll see him this weekend. But here's Dan Campbell on Emmanuel Moseley.
Best week he's had since he's come back from the injury. I just think he looks so much more comfortable. He's moving around well, and it's been really 2 great days for him.
That's great news. So the biggest thing with Emmanuel Moseley is getting healthy, right? That's why they've probably been patient, kind of not trying to rush it for him. He's a vet. He's played a lot of games in this league. He's been injured. He's dealt with a ton of injuries. So you have to be very delicate with things like this. The Lions obviously need him more than ever with all the injuries. Carlton Davis out for probably the entire season, and it's Rakestraw on IR, Iffy coming off of IR, but still they're being patient with him. He is someone that I think at this point in time would probably play more nickel than outside. He's not at this point, in my opinion, an outside corner. That's why you have, I know it's unfortunate, but you have Vildor. Not ideal. I completely understand. But you can even move Amik outside in terms of really what matchups you get. And then you can move E-Man into the slot or at nickel when you need to. So there's definitely a spot for E-Man. Like there's definitely a case to be made that he could be playing snaps out there. I just don't know if it'll be at outside corner. But right now with the depth they currently have and with the injuries, you don't have Rakestraw, like I said. You don't have Carlton Davis. You need Emmanuel Moseley. And I think there is a good chance that you see him this weekend because Dan Campbell, this is the first that he's really spoken depth about Emmanuel Moseley. Lately, he's been answering questions, but he hasn't been this complimentary of Emmanuel Moseley. He hasn't said this amount of good things. Like, hey, he's been killing it in practice. He's been impressive. Like, I think this is a good sign, guys. You may see Emmanuel Moseley this week. You can head over to BetUS right now and get in on the Lions -6.5 over the Chicago Bears, which I absolutely love after last week, the loss. Everyone kind of already, going against the Lions with the injuries and losing belief, including myself. But the Lions are going to respond. They always do after a loss. And the Lions are only favored by -6.5 against a Bears team that looks like it's in disarray. So go ahead and place your bet. I'm going to lock mine in. And always remember to gamble responsibly. BetUS is offering right now up to 150% on your first deposit, 125% on your second and third deposit with the code YouTube150. So get in on it now. Head over to BetUS. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, now what do I expect out of him? I expect a solid player. People tend to forget what he was like with the 49ers. He was an excellent corner. Now, will he be that same corner to play on the outside? I don't know, but I think he could still battle for plays at nickel because if you guys remember, early before the season in training camp, he was starting at nickel. There was times where he was playing nickel over Amik Robertson, who's currently starting at nickel now for you. So it's not like Emmanuel Moseley just forgot how to play football. They're still there. There's still plenty of football there left to be played for Emmanuel Moseley. So I'm excited to get him back. This is a boost to the defense. This is a boost to the secondary. Now, depending on how they use him, that's probably my biggest thing going into this game and into the future for the rest of the NFL season is how does Aaron Glenn use Emmanuel Moseley, especially when you get Iffy back and you start to kind of piece together the secondary, what it's going to look like for the rest of the season. Because you're not going to have some key pieces. I'm very curious. And do you move Brian Branch to nickel? And kind of what does that mean for Emmanuel Moseley? Do they play him on the outside? I mean, I could be proven wrong, and maybe they just do play him on the outside. Who knows? But this is great news, guys. You're getting another DB back and someone that's played a lot of football. He's played in playoff games. He's played on good teams. He's seen a lot of football. Obviously, playing in the NFC West, he's seen a lot of good offenses. So I think Emmanuel Moseley's impact, although it might not be what he once was, I think it'll still be solid, and it's still going to be better than, quite frankly, production-wise, what Kindle Vildor brings you. And that's all due respect, but that's just the truth. So this is great news. What do you guys think of Emmanuel Moseley returning and Dan's comments on him? And what do you think he'll be as a player? Do you think he'll be someone that the Lions defense will be significantly impacted by, or do you think slightly, or maybe you don't think he'll be the same player he once was at all? Leave your comments down in the comment section below and subscribe, because about half the people that view the videos are not subscribed. So subscribe and tune into the show tonight. We'll break this more down in depth. 8 to 10, we're live here on Crunch Time Sports. Appreciate you all. And as always, this video is sponsored by BetUS. Hey, what's going on there? It's Jeff Iafrate. Appreciate you for finishing the video. You can check out one of the videos here suggested, or show support by commenting, liking, and subscribing. And buy your merchandise, officialctsports.com.